Hey, welcome to channel14.com's Bodega Nights. I'm Joao.
I'm the Ironic Gamer.
I'm Martin.
And hello.
Hi.
How you do?
It's the three of us again. And this time I hope my microphone isn't screwed up anymore. Yeah.
It's not gonna be.
I'm really sorry about that last week. That wasn't very good.
It could have been worse. Remember that video that we'll probably never show about, 8 years of difference from a guy being in a wheelchair, drinking, and Paolo?
Sure.
So Paulo's in a wheelchair? Or there's another guy with a wheelchair and Paulo? What did Paulo do to the guy with a wheelchair? That sounds scary.
You know what else is scary?
Robots.
Oh. Yeah, robots.
I was going to say the claps, but yes, robots as well. Yeah, but have you guys seen that the recent video has been going? I won't say it's viral, but I think it's something that's well watched at this point. That Boston Dynamic thing. I actually shared it with you guys on the messaging thing, I think.
Wait, you did?
Yeah, I remember on Telegram actually sending it there.
Oh, right.
Anyway, it's pretty interesting. The Boston Dynamics new Atlas robot, which essentially can walk around.
Oh, yeah.
It's not tethered. It has its own battery pack. It can actually upright itself if it's about to trip, slip. If you knock it over, it tries to get up. It is really interesting. I was watching, hey, this is so cool. It's like you see science fiction come to life. And as I'm watching this is the most unsettling thing I've ever watched because I just had these flashbacks to Terminator. It's like, so it's going this way now. For the longest time, I prepared for the zombie apocalypse, and now robots are coming.
Next best thing, yo.
But I mean, it is so cool. It's just seeing all that thing. And I don't know, what was your reaction? I just felt so amazed and so unsettled by how it's all progressing now.
Yeah, dude.
It sounds, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's like what's it? And it doesn't help that it doesn't help that like the scenery looks like something straight out of like a Walking Dead kind of thing, right? Like it's walking around
because it's coming
in
out
the middle
the forest.
of trees and stuff. Like, ugh.
I'm actually really curious to see what open sourcing code would do for this robot's AI or anything in the future.
Oh,
do you think the Linux bot would be the fall of mankind?
I think we actually did a Third World Linux episode on that, or we mentioned it in Third World Linux before, that if there was to be the what's it called when the singularity, it would probably be like a Linux operating system.
So will this be like the HAL 9000 but with legs and arms?
And with Linux logo stuck on the forehead?
Well, wasn't HAL Linux, at least that was a joke at some point.
Ah.
But I'm actually so curious, with this new robot and essentially limitation being coding and how the Linux community is so nice, so good at it. I'm just wondering, would this be a thing that they'd make open source AI type things for robots?
Isn't Google doing that? Don't they have an open source sort of AI API or something?
I've heard of things like it, but I've never, I guess, dug too deep. And I just kind of thought about it just because, hey, robots. Hey, Linux. Hey, open source. World domination.
Hey.
Yeah, that could be Google. I can see that happening.
There's another project now called Mycroft that's trying to be it's trying to be like OK Google or Siri or whatever. So there is an open source AI thing that's coming up as well that's gaining some traction. So yeah. So when it comes to parsing natural language, that kind of thing, not so much the mechanics or the dynamics of the, you know what I mean.
Is it the Boston Dynamics?
Yes.
I was actually a little curious. I was partially worried is Boston Dynamics really in Boston? I was so worried when I saw all the snow. I was wondering, this reminds me of when I was in Connecticut. It's is Boston, is it really here? There is. Oh, okay, it really does snow a lot in Boston as well.
Yeah, dude, it's really snowy. It's practically South Canada. Well, not really.
I don't know. Every time I've seen pictures of Boston, it's always been the streets, and I've never really seen pictures of it with snow. But I guess at the same time, I don't really look up at pictures of Boston.
Yeah, apparently it's pretty snowy there. You have snow is a thing for folks from Boston. They do the thing where they have snow tires and stuff. So a snow day doesn't devastate the city, which is the sign that they actually have snow.
And incidentally, this is also the same year we're supposed to have the first, essentially, mech fight, I think, between the American company and a Japanese company.
Yes, I remember that, yeah.
It's going to be the most amazing and most lackluster battle we'll ever see in our lives. But it's a day that we can say that we saw two mechs fight each other from America and Japan.
Yeah.
Wait, are they mechs or are they like... Because like a mech is, well, quote unquote, technically like a dude inside a robot doing the ninja robots thing, right?
It is
like,
a dude doing a... It's not a dude doing a robot. It's a dude inside a robot. So the power is in him.
He's in a machine.
Well,
if anybody out there got that reference, you had a pretty okay childhood that was full of being marketed to by Mattel.
But it is interesting that all this kind of happening within this year. I mean, same way with that thing from NASA, with the whole engine project. We have robots, we have mech fights. Who knows? I mean, Real Steel might be a thing. The next Jobber Talks might be all about robot wrestling. What do you think, Martin?
I don't know.
That's a transition. I
don't know, Miko. I mean, Jobber Talk is like more awesome if it's like humans. I wanna keep the human aspect, man. I don't want us to be replaced by mechanical jobbers. I mean, what will happen to those guys who look and sound mechanical and get their ass kicks? They're gonna say, they took our jobs!
I would actually love to see Martin with like a robot co-host. Human subject, what do you think of this fight? Answer me
Hi,
now.
and welcome to Jobber Talk, and I'm Martin. And this is the R811.
Sort of like
Hello.
what was the name of that Scottish TV presenter in the US? What?
There's a Scottish TV presenter?
Yeah, dude. You guys talk. I'll look him up. Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson.
Wow, that was really quick.
Welcome
That
to
was
the
not a cut, guys.
Night Show with Craig Ferguson.
Yeah,
Jerry, you're
the Late
fired.
Show. Yeah, dude, the Late Show with Craig Ferguson. He has like a robot co-host or something named Jeff.
He's the former boss of Drew Carey in his sitcom.
Yeah.
The Drew Carey show?
Yeah, he's the boss, Mr. Wick.
Oh, okay. Oh, I remember him. Huh.
Jerry!
He's an announcer?
No, he's now a host.
Oh.
Of the Late Show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For a while, I was like, man, he's an announcer for wrestling? That should be quite interesting.
I know.
But yeah, how is the world of wrestling nowadays?
Well, here's the problem. They're still shoving Roman Reigns down our throats.
Huh.
That's where you say, oh,
Yeah,
my.
Roman Reigns, man. You know, that guy should really... It would be really good for the WWE and, well, Roman Reigns' career if they book him as a heel. Like, really.
Or they just book him like himself, actually.
As a heel, exactly.
No, like, take off the Vince McMahon speeches and just make him like the silent ass kicker like he once was. Because he was a face, he was okay. Just don't give him suffering succotash. You know? Stop saying that's a heel. I mean, what's next? John Cena is a heel?
That would be really good, but that's not going to happen.
Kids. Yeah, the kids. We have too many heels, too many chefs.
Who are the top heels in wrestling now?
Right now, Sheamus, Del Rio, most of the League of Nations. Then there's New Day. They're the cool heels now, so they might be good guys soon.
Yeah, but then, like, we don't have a... Like, I don't think the WWE has right now has like a heel that is like the magnitude of, say, like
Triple H.
Yeah, like a triple like
champ.
Triple H when he was at his heelest, you know, like
true.
Batista, like Dave Batista.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had Rollins, but now he's injured.
Right? Like, I don't know. They didn't have the heel that's just a scary guy.
You mean Kane?
Kane.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Dude, Kane and the Big Show, right? Like, they could have been those heels, but they've ended up becoming, like,
good guys
jobbers
again.
for Well, yeah, to be fair, there's also, what's his face? MMA guy.
Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but
then
he's not heel or face. He's just like
an entity,
just
right?
he just enters, he suplexes people, he wins, he kicks more ass, and he leaves.
Yeah, so that's why I think like Roman Reigns should, say have like a 6-month run as a heel.
He missed the boat on that one.
I really do think that would work, and that would do him a lot of good. Like it did with The Rock. The Rock had a brief period as a heel, and then when he turned face, boom.
Well, I hope that works, because Roman was like heel when he entered, then became face a bit, then still face. After Seth, turned heel on him and Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
And for our listeners who don't know what those terms mean, a heel is a villainous person, whereas face is the good guy. Because at this point, some people might be wondering, what do they mean? What do they mean by heel? What do they mean he's a face?
Everyone has a face. That's why I kept saying
my
good
face?
guy.
I am your face.
His face. Speaking of face, hey Miko.
Yes?
Oh, there you are. How are you doing?
What?
I just saw your face paused or something in Google.
I don't understand what that means. My photo doesn't move at all. It'll always be paused.
It is?
That's how a photo works. It's essentially a pause for life. Is that a way to describe a photo? A pause screen for life?
Oh yeah. And speaking of speaking of faces, who do you think is gonna be the face of WWE?
That question sounds so strange to me. I don't know if you're saying like the poster boy or do you mean the good guy?
Ha! Trick question. Of course the poster boy, because I'm gonna say good guy instead of face.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, that's a really weird term, huh? Like when people say like face, because like face obviously means like the good guy in wrestling storylines, but then at the same time it's also used to refer to say like John Cena as the face of the company.
Yeah. Face is like the short term of face is called the short term of baby face. That's the real term of good guy in wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or blue
Actually, I
eye
was wondering
in
about
British.
So what does heel mean?
Heel, bad guy. I don't know how that happened. In Mexico, they called heel as rudos, so like rude people, and technicos as face, or the good guys in Mexico.
Is it heel because if face is the good guy, the opposite of face is the heel?
That makes a bit sense? Yeah.
Isn't the opposite of the face the back of the head?
No, when you're going north-south, it can go head, face, then heel, foot.
Isn't that like Kanye's kid or something?
Oh, that's northwest.
Okay. I like them because I saw face. Okay, baby face. Then like heel. So what is heel? Is it like danger heel? Them just thinking about it. Wait, is heel separate of opposite of face? Then I thought, is that foot? Would the badly people be the foot? And they thought, wait, Foot Clan. The Foot Clan are ninjas. Ninjas have heels. Heels are now bad guys.
Conspiracy.
But seriously, it's a term I never understood in wrestling, was that face and heel. I didn't realize face actually meant babyface, which still sounds kind of weird for the good guy. Isn't babyface more of an insult?
No, so babyface is a singer.
I'm looking up the term heel on Wikipedia. And,
I read up on it. It says a part of a foot.
Yeah.
The term heel is most likely derived from the slang usage of the word that first appeared in 1914, meaning contemptible person. Citation needed. The original
Thank you, Wikipedia.
I'll take it, Wikipedia.
The original slang version.
Can I edit that and say heel was made because his opposite face? Citation needed. Then we can refer to the podcast where we refer to it.
Let's continue.
The original slang version has most likely has biblical origin. When Esau called.
What?
Apparently it's in Genesis. Hold up. Let me look this up.
What? How far back does this go? How deep is this rabbit hole?
Let's dig deep.
Apparently to the beginning of time.
Okay. I mean, face was like, oh, baby face. What about the bad guy? Break out the Bible, boys. We're going biblical on this one.
So wrestling has biblical Biblical origins, yeah.
Is that why we always see that Bible verse in Steve Austin fights? They're just
Austin
like maybe
3:16.
they're just referring to the actual Bible. This is how we got the term heel. These are the super fans who just discovered it. Oh God, we have to read into this and find out the fights. The fight being David and Goliath? No, that was a wrestling match.
27:36.
There's an actual verse
When you
about the
click that
heel.
link, it's not in English, Joao. Fair warning.
Yeah. I know it's in Hebrew, but I'm looking at like the English translations. Like,
Is it like that thing there about Eve crushing the serpent's head with her heel?
No, it's
No.
Jacob.
Huh.
well, I don't see it in in that particular verse in King James. Let me look up. Wait, what's that etymology dictionary? That's.
Wow, this is such a strange, interesting thing. I have never thought heel would have been this complicated.
His hand took hold on Esau's heel. Huh.
Did he then choke slam him?
The name signifies one who follows another's heel. It was Esau who first put upon it a bad meaning.
I want to see the marketing team behind this if they just actually said, we need a term. And everyone's just going through this. You see this like one like Catholic priestess in the meeting room.
I see it. I see why it is. Looking it up on this etymology dictionary that I always check out. So apparently, heel as a contemptible person, in the sense that it's the lowest position, because that's like the lowest part of your body or whatever when you're in an upright position.
I still like my theory about it being opposite of the face.
I agree with Miko.
He will be the face and you shall be the heel, which is the opposite of the face. Therefore, you are the bad guy. Also, crack open the Bible. We're going to get we're going to get biblical on you.
I didn't know wrestling was biblical. I just like to say that.
David and
again.
Goliath, the fight between Cain and Abel. Those are all old school wrestling fights. Back when they did fake stuff.
So you're telling me...
it's so real.
So you're telling me Abel was Undertaker?
Yep.
Gong.
See? All the way back then, wrestling was a thing. What we're doing now is just practicing tradition. But God, that is such a complicated thing. But at least, I am really glad that myself and probably lots of listeners now know what heel is. And I guess we could have gone the entire life without knowing that one.
And now we know. And knowing is half the battle.
Yeah, so they're apparently contemptible person. Like I found the citation for the citation needed, but I don't have an account with Wikipedia, so I can't update the citation.
Same. Oh, basically, hey, can we talk about Austin 3:16 for a bit?
Sure.
3 plus 16 is 19, right?
That is correct.
So this coming March 19, get ready for Earth R.
Oh yeah, it's Earth Hour coming March 19th.
It is, huh?
I guess you know who's recording that night.
Are you recording by candlelight to make it feel like the 1800s, except we have technology? Like the Amish with a podcast?
Yeah, I'll say I'm recording by the dark. Oh, dude, when's the 19th?
Probably probably before the 20th and after the 18th.
Yes, it's Saturday.
It's on a Saturday. Perfect.
Dude, it just sounds like you're about to go out and commit crime.
No, because Saturday is Jobber Talk Day. You know what's going down.
Hey, there is an
really
Amish... there is an actual Amish podcast.
Holy smokes!
Yeah. I was like wondering, do the Amish have podcasts? Is that allowed? I want to check this. Wow, there is an Amish podcast.
Is it like legitimately Amish, or is it like Amish?
What?
That's
Well, there's one here that's legitimately Amish, which is Amish Radio, and there's one that is Amish Wisdom by Sherry Gore, available on iTunes. Apparently the Amish one, they record it then upload it, but there's also a live one or something. Oh yeah, here it is, live internet talk show radio about Amish wisdom and the Amish lifestyle.
Oh, that's
episode
really
4. Yeah.
Wow.
They hit episode 440 back in 2013.
You think we can link that? All right.
The Amish Beard. This is a podcast episode where I want to listen to this thing. Huh. The things we learned. We learned that heal is biblical. We learned the Amish have podcasts. And learned that now Channel 14 has a Patreon that you should go check out. Right,
That's
Joe?
right.
We have a Patreon. Patreon.com/channel14. Yeah. Pledge and stuff. Please.
Hey, even the Amish have a Patreon.
How many faithful patrons do they have?
I'm actually checking this right now. I'm actually really curious.
Yeah, so like for the Patreon page though, we still have to figure out like the amounts and stuff. Like because with Patreon you can donate just as much as you want, right? Like I can
guess,
you know like right now I'm supporting Ubuntu Mate, and I think I just threw in like $1 a month or something because like I really don't have very much money. But like yeah, I think I threw in about $1 a month. And like you can do that. So, you know.
That's true, guys.
Hey, if it means anything, we have more cash right now than the Amish podcast. I have an Amish friend. Apparently, they don't wear the hat though, or
Why
the
not?
clothes.
That's disappointing.
I actually asked about that, and they said no. Apparently, it's only a very specific group that has the whole black hat and everything. Everyone else actually has all these colorful stuff. Well,
So it's like
pastel colors at least.
Yeah, like
that?
like a very specific subset of like the Jewish community wear the hats as well, right? Like
Yep, the hats, the weird like twirls in the hair, the clothes. Same thing apparently with the Amish. They also the ones we imagine the hats and wearing all black. Those are like the super conservative types, but there are others that are not like that. They look really old-timely though. Like their clothes look old-timely, everything looks old-timely, but it's actually really colorful. Did not realize that. I feel like, I've been lied to for my entire life by Hollywood saying that, oh, all the Amish have this. But apparently they do use a lot of like horse-drawn carriages and apparently roller skates. Because roller skates are okay.
that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
That's
They
actually
can't
pretty
use-
cool. Like
yeah.
roller skates.
They can't use rubber tires apparently. It's like a rule. They can't use rubber tires. But they can use roller skates because they don't use rubber. They use plastic tires. So that's perfectly fine.
Whoa.
So you can actually see a group of like, and these are the old school skates, like the ones with the 4 wheels, like the two, like they look like tiny boards.
Yeah?
Oh,
They use
like
those things. So, you can,
those.
so apparently you can see like a group of them sometimes on the road skating down to the nearby farm or market.
Because horses are too mainstream.
Well, that and some of them just don't want to bring out the horse because they have to feed it and clean up. So yeah, so somewhere out there are like a group of 8 or so Amish people right now going to the market on roller skates, and that is amazing.
That is so cool.
I
So
do
it's sort of like
want
the distinction between like a motor vehicle and a bicycle.
something like that. They have strict rules like, oh, you have to have this, this, and this, and if it's not listed, it doesn't. You're allowed to use it. If there's no rule for it, that means it's perfectly fine.
Huh.
It's really interesting. Like, So apparently our view of, oh, they don't have this. No, they have a guideline. As long as it doesn't have these things, you're fine. If there's an alternate, it's perfectly okay to use. I also dumbfounded after learning all those things. Like, that is so strange and somehow my views. But apparently they can build barns really fast. Apparently that one is true. That is not a stereotype. They can build barns in a day. I'm happy to build like a small project in like 3 weeks.
Dude, that's still cool, though.
But yeah, it was so dumbfounding.
Yeah.
I wonder what the
mean,
Amish rules
imagine.
say about robots.
So long as it's not rubberized, I guess.
Depends on like, well, if anybody out there knows, just send us an email.
Do
Or
the
you can-
Amish accept the robots?
As their one
see the-
true savior.
You see like the Amish robots like working the fields with them. It has its own roller skates that gets around real fast also. Whee! I am now pitching a robot wearing black with a hat now. Even though my friend told me that is not how they dress. Amish
Why,
bot.
friend?
Amazing. But yeah, all the new things I learned from like these weird misconceptions, like, oh, it's like this thing, you actually check out, oh, just like wrestling, where apparently heel went far deeper than we ever expected.
We got so
Far
deep.
below the heel.
Yeah. Biblical,
We went
baby.
to the beginning of time.
That was so
But then,
awesome.
but then, like, if you, well, that's the thing though. like when it comes to language, right? At some point, it just doesn't really make any sense to go all the way back to.
We gotta go back,
right? It doesn't make sense to go all the way back to the very beginning of spoken language to find the origin of a word, because it's probably so far removed from what it is, in the sense that heel was probably just the term that was used in 1914, and like that's it. Like there wasn't any sort of conscious effort to say, oh, we gotta go biblical. It's just it just is what it is, and that's the unfortunate yet so amazingly beautiful thing about language. It is what it is.
Agree.
Actually, is there any word that Joao, that probably has such far roots and we still accept those roots today? Like it's just a word with such an archaic point that we all accept?
The?
THE.
Really? Like, what's the? Wasn't like the and other like things a long time ago?
The. I mean, like a lot of in the English language, a lot of the more simple words are the ones that go back to like the sort of very beginnings of English. Tree, horse, grass, food.
So you're saying one of the oldest sentences I could probably make is the horse under the tree eats grass.
In English, yeah, probably.
Somehow I feel also somehow disappointed that might be one of the most oldest sentences.
But then it wouldn't. But then
it don't sound like that though. Probably it'd be like, instead of tree, it'd be like tress or something.
Yeah. And it would probably be like I'm not sure if they had like declensions and stuff in like Middle English and in Old English, but yeah. The funny thing about the English language now is that English as it is spoken now is the ultimate bastardization of language.
How
like
so?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Right? Because if you look at like Old English, so this is this is a misconception, right? That Old English is the language of Shakespeare. So no, that's what we call early modern English. Then Middle English is Chaucer, and before Chaucer was Old English, which is Beowulf, right? So if you look at Old English, it looked a lot more like German, right? It had verb conjugations depending on they conjugated their verbs a lot more than we do with present day English. English used to have grammatical gender. It used to have masculine, feminine, and neuter, right? Like it had a lot of the trappings of continental European language. And then at around the time that a bunch of Vikings decided to take over the English Isles, you started seeing a drop-off in all of the quote-unquote harder aspects of the language. So say with Spanish, if you say los pantalones, right? If you say las pantalones,
yeah.
Wait, right? That's pants are masculine, right?
Yeah, pants are very masculine.
So if you say la pantalones or las pantalones, you're making a grammatical error.
Yes, that's true. Then the Vikings came and changed that all.
Then the Vikings came and said, you know what? Screw it. We're not going to learn about masculine or feminine gender. Let's just say the pants.
Not
like
just
there is
a pant, but the pants.
Yeah,
but like there's right. So it's like somebody there's one theory that the English language was incompletely learned by one generation.
I'm pretty sure there are a number of generations that did not completely understand it based off Hollywood and other media and social media.
No, like there was one Okay, with the number of people that speak English now, it's going to change, but the underlying rules remain the same.
Yeah.
There weren't very many English speakers at one point in time, right? And this one group of English speakers were taken over by a bunch of Vikings, and they had kids, and their kids learned the incomplete or sort of broken English of their fathers.
Okay.
And it was passed on from generation to generation, so we no longer have grammatical gender. We no longer have complicated verb conjugation.
So you're saying the Vikings beat them so badly, their language became nullified.
No, the Vikings were right. So let's just imagine, right? Let's just imagine that everybody in let's imagine that a bunch of Filipinos, right?
Okay, I can imagine that.
Right. So let's imagine that a bunch of Filipinos, we take over small island nation.
So, dude, sa atin na to, pare.
Right now, wait, no, let's not do that. Right. Let's just say that
Channel 14 took on a bunch of island nations. Can that work?
I'm trying to think of like something that'll illustrate this point really. Okay. Say a bunch of English speakers come to the Philippines and they all learn how to speak Filipino, but they don't learn how to speak Filipino as kids. So they all learn it when they're adults.
Okay.
I know that. Okay, yeah.
Right? You know how bad they speak English? You know how bad they would speak Filipino, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine that all of them, now imagine that like a vast majority of them fathered children. And these children learned that bastardized version of Filipino.
Wait, who do they have children with, though?
And it's a patriarchal society.
Ah.
Oh.
Okay.
Right? So, kids are encouraged to speak the language of their father. That's sort of how we are now as well. We're encouraged to speak the way that our fathers speak. It's,
all right.
Right? Right? And so for an entire generation, that becomes the correct English.
Okay. Makes sense.
And that's the English that we have now. So our English now, and that's why I don't like grammar Nazis. Because grammar Nazis don't understand the evolution of language and how our English language that we hold so dear is one of the most bastardized languages on the face of the earth. One of the least pure. So there was that. And then there was the French. Because the Franks, the Franks took over the English Isles for about 300 years. So there is a lot of French embedded in English.
Like
and
beyond rendezvous point and avant-garde, like what French is in English?
Beef.
Beef is French?
Oh, that's why boeuf bourguignon, you just modify it with 2 E's, it's beef.
Right? So the Franks come in, or the French or whatever, they take over the British Isles and they become the aristocracy. Now, the English speakers or whatever are their servants and stuff. So you can sort of see this, right? Like how, cow is the animal while beef is the meat.
Yeah.
Lamb, mutton, or sheep, mutton. Right? So you have a lot of that. A lot of words that end in ION are like French in origin.
Huh. Well, I've never expected that.
Right? Like we English speakers live under this fiction that a lot of these words we took from Latin. Yes, we did take them from Latin through the French. In the same way that like a lot of words in Filipino come from Spain because we were colonies of Spain. It's just that we don't have as much time between the Spanish conquest that we can still identify these words as Spanish in origin.
Though, in fairness, we were ruled more by Mexico, and their Spanish is even stranger.
Well, yeah, but like a lot of our words, a lot of our Filipino words come from like Spanish, particularly like in the central parts of the country, right? Like we don't use the word palengke to mean a public market. We use the word mercado.
Yeah.
And then our verb for buying stuff is compra, which is from comprar.
Huh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, Visayan, lots of it has Spanish roots in it.
Yeah.
Then you have Tagalog, which is completely different.
Yeah, but then there's also like a lot of Spanish in Tagalog as well.
Like leche?
Like baca.
Wait, baca is Spanish?
Vaca. Is that how it was before?
Cow, right?
Oh, yeah, vaquero. Okay, yeah.
That's so like, it's...
Okay, sorry. I was thinking like, Where does vaca come out in Spanish? Oh, vaca. Okay, yeah. I see it now.
Right? Like a cow.
And the cowboy was the vaqueros and the things. I actually surprised. I actually didn't realize that cowboys came from Spain.
Huh.
And I also found out this is actually
that's true.
this is actually during Christmas where we have always theme parties and we did cowboys. I also discovered that there are 4 kinds of cowboys. Apparently, even the names. I don't recall the 4 different groups right now, but apparently, yeah, they are 4 different cowboys who did 4 different kinds of things, and all 4 of them dressed differently. So apparently, like, all the names we thought for cowboys were just like, oh, the same thing. Apparently, they were all specific groups. Language.
Like in terms of specific groups in terms of like what they did, or like their geographical locations?
Geographical locations because they were in separate areas. How they looked, how they lived, their lifestyle, their work, all of it was different. But they were all still considered essentially cowboys because they still were all working in the ranch.
Oh, all right, yeah, I can see that.
But like some of them were more for cows, some of them were more for the horses.
Others were more for the boys. Sorry.
Others would pitch up tents up in the mountain.
Huh.
Very old reference.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. This very sort of reductionist view of cultures that we get.
It's amazing how some of the most developed things had some of the simplest things to it, and really dumb things too, like paintball. But yeah, that was a thing though you did right in college, Joao. Where did you take the language course, or did you just do that as a self-study thing?
I just took it as a self-study thing. I was like, oh, there's this book. All right, let's read it. Oh, the word silly actually means blessed.
Wait,
what?
That's
when I was like, yeah, and that's when I was like, all right, screw it.
And that's what the Vikings did to English too.
No, it's called semantic drift. Actually, it's called semantic drift.
That sounds like the next Need for Speed game.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It's gonna be done in London by Vikings.
So the word, like if you look at really old manuscripts of the Hail Mary, right?
Okay.
You will see the word silly in there describing Mary, right? The silly Virgin Mary.
Wait, what?
Because silly originally meant blessed. Blessed was pure. Pure was identified with children. Children are identified with being kind of off the wall, and being off the wall eventually became silly.
Huh.
Right? So you see the lineage there, right?
Yeah.
But then we can't go around saying that, oh, you know what? You're wrong. The word silly actually means blessed. So, like, I'm going to, unless you're violent towards the church, then fine. But like, the word silly originally meant blessed or blessed or holy.
Huh. So besides silly, what other like mind-blowing word did you learn had like roots that were just utterly weird?
That's the one that comes to mind.
That's a very silly thought, but do I mean blessed or do I mean strange?
Another cool thing that another cool like language thing. Where's Ruth?
Babe Ruth?
What was there's this one weird thing in study of language. Where is Ruth? Because we have the word ruthless, but we don't use the word Ruth.
Wait, Ruth is... Oh yeah, ruthless means without Ruth.
Yeah.
Huh,
So apparently,
I've never thought of that.
right? So apparently Ruth was a word that was used for, I don't know how long. And then like it just sort of fell out of use. And now like nobody actually uses it.
Except as
But
a last name.
Yeah. But like it's there, you know? I would assume it's in the dictionary, like the full OED or whatever it is.
Oh, there you go. Ruth. Noun. Archaic. A meaning of feeling of pity, distress, or grief. Middle English. Norse. For Hirgth. I have no idea how to read this. It's Hrygth. Which then goes... Oh, okay, no, it's another thing. Huh. So it means pity, distress. So without pity. Oh, okay, so that's... Okay, ruthless now makes more sense to me.
Yeah, so there.
Wow. Damn. That's deep.
So, is there an etymology for the word jobber?
I think there is.
Martin.
Let's Google it. Hold on.
Come on, you
Google.
have the show. You should know these things.
No, let's
Martin.
get the
Well, I would
a professional
assume-
wrestler who routinely loses a match. See job. Professional wrestling is a losing performance in a wrestling match. The person who does that losing performance.
So, jobber is a loser?
It's derived from the euphemism doing one's job, which was employed to protect kayfabe. Basically, that's it.
Okay, yeah.
Huh.
I can see how that makes sense, yeah.
You took our job. You're not a jobber.
Yeah, I got a job. Lying down on the
is-
mat.
That is such a strange etymology. So it comes from essentially a strange way of saying to lose one's job. So
No, just doing one's job, and his job is to lose. Basically, you're doing what you have to do.
Wait, so a jobber is a professional loser, essentially.
Yeah.
So you have the Professional Loser podcast?
Wait, what? I think my ass is already getting handed in the Channel 14 ratings. I'm doing a good job right now.
Yes, you are. You are doing a great job.
So don't take my job.
But what if it is your job to have your job be taken?
Then I'll be saying, yeah, I took your job.
The robots will come, Martin. The robots will come.
And they'll take my job. But
Like jobber
before
talk will
that...
just be a series of ones and zeros.
Damn. But you know how that can be stopped? How we can alleviate that problem in the future, guys?
How, Martin? Please tell us.
By subscribing to our Patreon every month. For only $4 a month, allow us to unsuck and be replaced by our robot overlords. You can also pay up in PayPal and donate anytime you want.
And if you do love our robot overlords, do pay up so they'll have a cushy thing when they come to take us over. And be sure to check out the other shows as well.
Like Third World Linux, Jobber Talk, Radio Norm, the Third World Gaming YouTube Let's Plays. Is that right, Miko?
Yeah. Guys. The Let's Plays will be starting up. Sorry for the delays. Lots of strange things happening. But with Minecraft 1.9, a few bunch of other games I got, expect a lot of new content coming up right before I disappear for a month, where there'll be content there to take my place. Like a robot will in the far future.
And if you want to see those new episodes, you can subscribe to our YouTube page. And also follow us on Twitter. That's Twitter @CH14.
This feels so weird, dude. We have like a proper ending to this Bodega Nights. That never happens.